Spring football is upon us. The Bison are ready to take the field one more time, and I'm Jeremy Jorgensen. Head coach Chris Klieman is here, and we're going to go through things and set up spring football for you and get you set for this spring. It's a big spring for the Bison, and Coach, it's been just a few months now since the season ended in December. I'll bet there's a hunger with the guys, with the staff and the guys in off-season workouts.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been, we talked about it this morning with our guys, it's been 3 months since we played as opposed to 2 months. So the guys are really excited and hungry to get back out there. The coaches are really excited because we have a lot of guys returning. We've got a lot of young guys that we're going to really take a hard look at this spring.
How about off-season workouts? Always such a big deal. Coach Kramer had a little more time with the guys this off-season. How has that gone? How are they reporting to spring football?
Yeah, it's gone really well. We were able to get a full 8 weeks in this year, which is ideally what Coach Kramer would like, and for us to be able to start off that first week of finals, or excuse me, the first week when we came back after finals, when we came back to start second semester, to go through a full 8 weeks as opposed to kind of piecing together maybe 6.5 from playing in January. I think you see a lot of those guys that maybe were not redshirted but didn't play a whole bunch, getting a full 8 weeks in that look a lot stronger. Our numbers are so much better with strength, with speed, all those things, and hopefully it'll pay off here this spring.
Hey, big change on your staff this offseason. Courtney Messingham comes in. He was at Montana State last year, veteran coach. You've known him for a long time. How is he fitting in?
Fitting in really well. I've been back with the offense quite a bit, and you can just see the camaraderie between those guys, and they all work well together. And we'll tinker with some things, we'll change some things and adjust some things, but people are going to still see the same Bison offense for the most part.
How about the coaches in the offseason? How do they prepare for spring ball? Do they go out and visit other schools? Do you watch a lot of tape? How did they prepare for spring?
Well, offensively, because it was a new guy in the front of the room with Mess, they spent a lot of time together, just kind of learning each other's quirks and learning each other's some of the things that they want to implement offensively, some of the things we want to keep the same, some of the things we want to adjust. So they've been together most of the offseason since Courtney came aboard in mid-February. Defensively, only losing Coach Kane, Coach Buddha Williams is here, which we're excited about to have Buddha here. They were able to go out down south. They went to Wake Forest for a day and went to Clemson for a couple of days. And with Clemson winning the national championship, it's hard to get in there, and we were able to. We have a tie there, so we were able to get in there for a couple of days. And I think we'll see some of the things that we're going to adjust. We always have to evolve, and so defensively, we're not going to change what we do, but we're going to implement some new things there too.
All right, as we go into the positions, offensive line is a big one here in spring. Some experience does return with Austin Coonert, Colin Connor. Did lose some seniors, though, some great seniors. Big Zach Johnson, Landon Leckler, Jack Plankers. And there's also some mid-level guys where this might be a big spring, where Tanner Volson might get in the mix, a Luke Bacon, guys like that, and some excitement about a Dylan Raduns and a Cordell Volson coming off redshirt.
Yeah, you hit a lot of those names, but it's probably the area of biggest concern for me, because you lose 3 guys that have been so instrumental in our success, and all 3 kids will get into a camp and have an opportunity to continue to play football. But it's the area that we're going to focus on the most, because we're moving Coonert from center to guard. That'll put Tanner Volson in there at center, and where are we going to play Colin Connor? We're going to keep him at left tackle. We may try him at guard a little bit. We're going to move some guys around. Bryce Mesner, who's going to be a senior that started at tight end and was that extra tight end for us a lot. Last year he was playing some guard. We're excited about what Mez can do. And then you hit it. You hit young Zach Johnson, who played a little bit last year, that's going to probably plug in at right tackle. Dylan Raduns, can he push Colin Connor to move him inside and be the left tackle? Luke Bacon does everything right and is continuing to improve. Can he make that next step? Christian Triplett, can he make that next step? We have some guys. Zach Zemer's played some good snaps for us. We have a lot of experience back there to go with some of the inexperienced guys, but the inexperienced guys probably have the biggest upside. So we're going to have some great competition, and Connor Riley's excited about working with those guys, because we have the biggest group we've had this spring too. We're talking 3 deep there, so those guys are going to get a lot of reps.
A lot of experience at the skill position on offense, littered with experience, really. So spring football, what do you want to see? Where are some of the guys and some of the depth that you really want to work on? Maybe a guy like Sean Engel coming off red shirt, or various positions outside of the offensive line where you want to see guys rise up here.
Yeah, we need to see great growth from Ben Ellefson. We think Ben has got a huge ceiling, and we think Ben's going to really take that big leap this spring. I think he's a difference maker at tight end. We have really good players in Shep and RJ, but who's that next guy? Yeah. Is it Dallas Freeman? Is it Dimitri Williams? Is it Sean Engel? Who is that next guy that's going to be somebody that's going to get us, whether it's 25 to 45 catches? And then the running back position, we have a lot of depth. Demaris Purifoy needs to stand out this spring. He's had an exceptional winter, with Lance and Bruce coming back at running back. What other things can those guys do? Can they flex out into the slot a little bit more? Can we keep both of them in the game a little bit more? Maybe do a little bit more two-tailback as opposed to three-tailback like we've done in the past. But we have a lot of competition there too. Adam Cofield, Ty Brooks. We have some guys that have some really good athleticism and movement skills. Now, how well can we implement them, and how well can they figure out what we're doing?
Well, when you go to the defensive side of the ball, too, linebacker is a position, much like offensive line, where you lost some great seniors, MJ Stumpf, Pierre G. Tucker, great players. But you got DeLuca coming off of injury, and then you got Matt Plank, great experience there. But for spring purposes, it's probably those mid-level guys, the Chris Boards and Jordheims, and then the guys coming off red shirt there as well. There's a ton of talent there, starting with Jabril Cox.
Yeah, and the mid-level guys, those guys need to really shine this spring, whether it's Dan Marlette or Chris Board or Levi Jordan. I'm looking for Dan and Levi to really make that next step. It's about this time when MJ Stumpf made that next step and had a phenomenal junior and senior year. Well, those guys are both going to be juniors. They need to figure out what we're doing now and play at a high level, because they're the future there, but they can also be the present as well, because you're not going to have Nick DeLuca out there this spring, and Plank's going to be pretty limited as well. So we want to try to force feed Dan and Levi and Chris and say, hey, you guys got to run the show out here, and I think they're ready to do that. And then you go to those young guys, and Jabril Cox we're really excited about. He's going to provide some length at that outside linebacker spot that we haven't had really. And Esley Thornton was probably the last guy that was a 6'2 plus guy that played an outside linebacker position, and Jabril's probably closer to 6'3 and runs extremely well. And we're looking for big things out of Jabril, and Jabril knows we're looking for big things out of him. His name's been brought up a lot, and he knows it, and he needs to be able to elevate his game and understand what we're doing. And everybody knows that the linebacker position is a difficult position for us, so we'll see how he picks things up. But we're excited about the depth. I'm glad you're not saying that Nick DeLuca is one of those three seniors that was gone. Yeah. We're excited to have Nick back. Now, Nick won't participate because of the shoulder surgery that he had in the middle of the season, but he's on target to be ready to go full go once we get to the summer.
How about front four? Tanguay's coming off of injury. Great experience there as well at D-end and at tackle. Steidel and Menard, guys like that. But for the young guys in spring here, Derek Tuska or Cole Karch, who might move around a little bit inside there.
Well, our most experienced and deepest position is at defensive end. You've got Greg Menard, you've got Stanley Jones, you've got Jared Tuska, you've got Derek Tuska, you've got Caleb Butler, all guys that have played some snaps for us. We need to see Derek Tuska, we need to see Cole Karch, we need to see Stanley Jones kind of take their game to the next level. We're going to move around Cole Karch a little bit. He's going to play some inside at some three technique for us, similar to what Caleb Butler did last year in spot duty for us when we lost Nate. But we need to become more athletic and a little bit quicker inside because it's not every team's not like the Bison offense. So we need to be able to find some athletes inside that we can have maybe 4 defensive ends in the game. So it gives those guys an opportunity to participate a lot more in spring. Then you still have Aaron Steidel, you still have Blake Williams, you still have Grant Morgan, you still have the core guys inside, and that's not including Nate that won't be here this spring. So we have some really good competition. And then I look at a guy like Quinn Allo, and Quinn was one of our most dominant kids on the scout team last year, and going up against Coonert and going up against Big Zach Johnson, it's a big spring for him as well.
As we summarize here and paint the picture of spring ball, let us know how many practices you got, what the goals are, when the pads start. How does it progress from now at the start of spring till the end?
Well, we have 15 practices, and the first 2 are truly non-pad, and then you are able to sprinkle in some contact days and some padded days. And when we tackle and go hard, we're going to go hard and tackle. We need to improve tackling in the linebacker and secondary position, so we're going to challenge those guys. But that's the biggest thing for us on defense, is to improve what we're doing in the tackling aspect of the game. Offensively, I think the biggest improvement is our passing game. You're going to see some things differently in our passing game that we're going to try to do. But we have 15 days. We should also work a bunch of special teams. We're excited. All 3 specialists are back. When I say the specialists, the punter and the kicker for starters, but we still have Fish for his 4th year starting as a long snapper. So we'll really progress those special teams more this spring, because the guys that are taking the lion's share of those reps are back.
Thanks for your time, Coach. It's very exciting to see the Bison back out on the field for spring football. Stay tuned to GoBison.com for updates throughout the spring.